All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Thomas Porter Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery and with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get you some information, inspiration, and motivation to get your day started off on the right foot. And today we're talking about leadership, continuing with our series on leadership and leadership by being of growth mindset. Welcome to episode number 371, folks, as we continue on with our 15 minutes to mastery. Well past the year mark. So, leadership by being of growth mindset. Jack Welch writes, before becoming a leader, success is all about growing yourself. After you become a leader, success is about growing others. So before you become a leader, it's about growing yourself. It's all about you pouring into you and learning as much as you can. But after you become a leader, now it's about growing others. And that message right there is specifically to those in leadership positions. But this whole segment goes out to everyone. So if you're not in a leadership role, grow yourself, help others grow. If you are in a leadership role, grow yourself, help others grow. The message is the same, because imagine this. Imagine two different housing consultants starting at the same time. They all made progress. They've gotten to a certain point in their career. Let's say they're a year or two into it. Both start at the same time. And one feels, hey, man, I've got this down. I've learned how to do this thing. I've been doing it all right. I've been year and a half, 2 years in this. I'm good to go. While the other continues to learn, continues to grow, maybe starts learning more in depth about the different products, the different financing options. It continues to advance their learning, continues to grow in themselves, how to better speak with customers or people in general, how to be able to take care of other things, or just starts feeding their mind with other things. And that person's career continues to grow, while the other that figured out for themselves that, hey, I've been doing this a while, I'm good to go, their career plateaus. That has everything to do with their mindset on growth. Are you a growth mindset, or are you a fixed mindset? We did a whole podcast on that about a year ago, which was the comparison of a growth mindset to that of a fixed mindset. And so now we're coming in and speaking to you about that, because here's the thing. When we're talking about manufactured home sales and that growth mindset, it means that you're approaching each day as an opportunity to be able to learn something new. You're looking at the different things, the different challenges, as an opportunity to learn how to handle that challenge and thus learn from it to avoid it in the future, right? You're continuing to seek out opportunities or ways to improve, whether it's your negotiation skills, your sales process, your feature benefiting, your overcoming objections, whatever it may be, right? So you housing consultants, you community managers out there, that mindset means that you're regularly developing your product knowledge, your finance training, you're refining your sales techniques, your skills, and you're adapting to what customers are telling you, the feedback you're getting back as you're moving along. It's about being able to maintain that curious mindset, that curiosity, but humility at the same time, and understanding that we've never truly arrived. I've been able to do the things that I have within the industry and advance my career when I was in your position and selling still here in Texas, because of that growth mindset, because I kept moving forward, because I kept going above and beyond, because I kept leading by example, and I kept learning. And I still do to this day. That's the only way that I'm going to continue to grow this company and grow my team, is I have to continue to learn and grow, and so do you. Doesn't mean you only do that if you own a business. It's just in life. You should inspire that of others around you, your kids, your family, your loved ones, anyone that you speak to. We need it in society. I talk about that all the time. All these things that we discuss daily, we need all around us, not just in business. So a team that has a growth mindset is dynamic. They're solutions oriented. They move, man. They're humming. It's a machine. They're just going. It's exciting to see, because they embrace the change and they embrace the challenges. They embrace the opportunities to continue to move forward. And so I ask you, what type of person are you? How do you handle that? What are you learning right now? What have you continued to learn yourself? I got I consider him a mentor, right? So Bedros Koulian, there's a gentleman out of California that is an entrepreneur, owns several different businesses. I mean, the guy's a great influence in my life just from what I've learned of him. I've met him a couple times, but I continue to learn from him. And so he has what he's called, he does these 6-week challenges, right? Whether it's to run a marathon or learn jujitsu or learn a language or learn how to surf, all these things that he's done, and it's so that his mind continues to grow and evolve and learn. Because even though if you're not learning something specific to the industry, let's say you decided to pick up an instrument and learn that, just the fact you're keeping your mind going and firing will transcend, and you'll start to do the same thing within your business, within your sales career, and you'll be able to be more dynamic for your customers. That's what high performers do. High performers and effective leaders within this industry, they model that growth mindset. They're always looking and seeking out ways to improve. What are you doing? How are you improving? How are you improving your skills? How are you improving your understanding? How are you improving the way that you handle the whole sales process, everything that goes along with it? Because high performers, they prioritize learning, right? And learning both for themselves and for the team. Is that the culture within your organization? Are you guys a group that's always learning and growing and challenging each other? Or are you just a group that, hey, man, this is what we do. We've been doing it for a while. This is how we've always done it. The thing I hear all the time. This is how we've always done it. Why would we need to change anything? Well, that's why you've always also just been plateauing, and you've reached a point where you're comfortable with that when there's so much more. And that, my friends, that way of thinking is so what's the word I'm looking for? That would be something where you're just thinking about yourself, right? And that way of thinking, because here's the thing, what you do as a career, yes, you're selling homes, right? But understand this, if you reach the point where you're making $100,000-$200,000 a year, I'm just throwing that number out there, right? If you just decided, hey, this takes care of me and my family, as long as I'm doing that, I'm great. That's selfish. Because there's so many people out there, so many more people out there that need your help. And the fact that you're not growing and you're not challenging yourself, you're not pushing yourself to do more, be more, and learn more, and be able to do more and help in a bigger scale is selfish, because so many more people out there need it. And guess what? When you help more people, that takes it to a whole different level, even in your own personal life, and the rewards for you and your family and your loved ones, your community, everyone involved. So as high performers, those folks that continue to learn and grow and push themselves are always improving and doing more, and they're having a better effect on everyone around them as well. And that's what we want to do, because here, look, up until now, the traditional culture in this industry has just been focused simply on the results, with little, if any, emphasis on continuous learning process, right? Hardly any place that I go to has emphasized a culture of learning, a culture of growth. And that is huge when you do that, because here's the thing, even though you may be, let's say you're the GM, and hey, I know what I need to know, and then we're good. And if anybody has a question, I can answer it. Yes, that's great. But your job as a leader is to develop other leaders. So if you're not fostering a culture of growth, shame on you, because you're not developing other leaders and you're not inspiring them to get better, be better, and do more for themselves. So we should be doing that, and not just focused in on the number, on the results. When you cultivate that with your team, that growth mindset, now what happens is it improves not only their performance, but it also improves the resiliency of the team, because there will be times where things slow down. There will be times where maybe there's some lulls in the traffic, whatever it is. But when you hit those times when everyone's on board and everybody has, when it's a culture of learning, everybody just grows and they're more resilient and you keep moving forward, and we push right through that obstacle and on to growing some more. And that's the type of culture that you should be developing at your location. So what are the 5 ways to cultivate a growth mindset? Let's run through those. First and foremost, you've got to embrace feedback for improvement. You need to be open to other people's suggestions. Leave the ego at the door, man. Forget about it. Forget about it. Your ego does not matter. It should not be in play here. The only reason your ego should be hurt is the fact that you're not learning as much as you should be learning. That's where you need to check your ego, or get with your ego and say, man, you could do more than this. You could be better, but don't look at the feedback that others are giving you like, hey, you obviously are struggling here, you're struggling with this, and this is what's going to help you improve, or this needs to get corrected, or we're going to have some issues. Don't be offended by it. Seek out that feedback so that you can continue to improve. Now, the best thing you can do is set some development goals. Focus in, write down, what am I struggling with? What am I not too confident with? Write that down and then set goals on that. If it's about your feature benefiting, what are you struggling with the feature benefiting? What about it do you struggle with, or do you just not know the features and the benefits? Well, then set a timetable, a timeline, and goals so that you learn these things, and you're doing that so that you can celebrate the progress in your learning. As you're learning and knocking off this list, celebrate it. You should feel good about those things. And if it's as a team, as a location, that's something that you guys should celebrate together. One of the things that we're doing over at Mobile Home Masters and Tyler is now we're assigning a topic each and every week to one person on the team, and they come in on a specific day, and they are leading the training on whatever topic we're assigning to them, so that they can continue, they can now be leaders, and we're developing them, and everyone is embracing the growth culture, and not simply because we're knocking them over the head about it, but because they're taking part in it. They're part of the leadership. They're part of the growth that's going on, and that's huge. And it's been paying off tremendously. And next thing you want to do is encourage lifelong learning in the team. That has to be the message. Just like the vision and the goals of the location, you have to constantly be putting them out there. You have to constantly, daily, be reminding your team about continuing to learn, continue to grow. And how do you do that? You do it daily by having an actual training session on something as a team. And that will encourage that lifelong learning. And lastly, embody resilience when challenging times do happen. And the more growth mindset the team, the easier it is to overcome the challenges. I can tell you that from personal experience. It's huge. It's the way to go, and it's what you should be doing. And that's how you can establish leadership through a growth mindset. And that, my friends, leads me to our next topic, which you know what's coming: 2025 Path to Mastery, happening November 18th and 19th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join us. Go to manufacturedhomesalesmastery.com. You can get all the details there on everything that's going on those 2 days. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll also have it recorded. You'll get the recorded version of it as well. It's only $225. Only $225, and you're going to get information. You're going to have speakers coming in, industry leaders. We got Doug Tolene with Champion Homes, David Finney with Build Media, Edward Leos, John Maxwell, leadership coach. We've got Sergio Rios with Gold Financial Home Loans. We've got Thomas Dunn with the manufacturing housing industry of Arizona. We got myself coming in. We're going to be tackling topics from time management, leadership skills, professional development, and we're going to be setting your goals. We're all going to work together and set our goals for 2025 specific to the manufacturing home industry. You'll leave there with an action plan, and the best bonus on top of that you're going to get is going to be, you're going to be part of a mastermind that's going to meet once a month for all of 2025 to make sure you stay on track, or you're able to work as a group, as a network, to resolve issues that are happening for you in your business, in your market. We're going to start establishing that network of professionals all across the country through this mastermind. And all it takes is one-time investment of $225, and the even better part of all that is 75% of that is going to the American Red Cross to help out the folks that have been affected by Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The other 25% we're going to use to sponsor our industry brothers and sisters in those areas so they can be a part of the event with us. All right. So go on right now, manufacturedhomesalesmastery.com, get signed up, register right now so that we can help others while helping you. We're all going to do it together. Let's go out and grow and dominate in 2025. The 2025 Paths to Mastery event brought to you by Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, because we are here to take your life, your business, and your career to a whole new level. You guys have a great Thursday. We'll be talking soon. And as always,